up in the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's actual sky. See? Actual sky. What's going on, Super Friends? It's your friendly neighborhood SuperDude coming to you from the outside plaza of the Fortress of Broitude. Welcome. I got the super shades on because it's super bright. Too many supers, but that's okay. Welcome to Welcome to 2019 with your friendly neighborhood SuperDude. I am ecstatic that you decided to join me all the way here in 2019. I'm glad that you're here. If you've continued to be here, welcome back. If you're here for the first time, welcome to the Justice Bro Society as an honorary member. My super friends, my Justice Bro Society of America. What's going on? How was your 2018? Was it terrible? If so, hope the 2019 is better for you. If your 2018 was amazing, I hope your 2019 is even better for you. But you're done hearing me talk about the new year. You want to hear me talk about what's coming up in the new year. Mortal Kombat 11 specifically. You want to hear me talk about the Mortal Kombat content. Well, I'm going to bring you the combat content. I got you. I see you. These shades help me see better. They don't. That's a lie. But it's all good. So what am I going to talk about? Well, what is everybody in their Mortal Kombat parent talking about on YouTube? Mortal Kombat 11's roster. But I'm not talking about roster leaks this time. I'm not talking about my roster predictions necessarily. Well, SuperDude, if you not talk about the roster predictions and you not talk about the leaks, what you talk about? Well, man, it's very simple. I am going to be talking about the roster that I would make if Aaron, me, SuperDude, you know my name now. I think I've said it a few times before. That's all right. If this SuperDude here were to be sent an email that says, "Hey, we're in NetherRealm Studios," I'm like, "Hey, I think you got the wrong email." But they're like, "No, it's the right email. We contacted you. We'd like to work with Derek Kurtzik." By the way, SuperDude versus Kurtzik 3 the Third coming to you in Mortal Kombat 11. But we liked your work, and we trust you enough to build the entire roster. You've got 40 slots. Do your work. And I went, all right, I'm going to do you better. 40 slots plus 12 DLCs. And they went, do it for us. But they all have to have reasons for being in the game. Hold my non-denominational soda. So what I'm going to be doing for you today, I want to make it clear this is not leaks. This is not who I believe is going to be in the game predictions. Like, I'm sure half of the people that I'm going to name today are not going to make the game. But if I can make the game, this is my, I guess you say this is my dream roster. This is my wish list. Yada yada, blah blah blah. And going into it, I have to give you, excuse me, a little bit of story. Because to set up the roster, I've got to set up a little bit of the story. Now, we all have seen in the trailer this time manipulator, where I'm going to call her Chronica for the sake of this video, until she gets a new name, or until they establish that that's her name, whatever. I'm calling her Chronica for now. Excuse me, godly. Only whenever I want to record something do I burp. But Chronica is in Mortal Kombat 11's trailers, and as for the sake of this video and my story and my Mortal Kombat 11 in my head that I'm creating here, and I have to say that a bunch because every time I do one of these videos, everybody, I'll get messages like, "The roster you made was wrong, you're an idiot, blah 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 blah." This is entirely make-believe. This is my dream roster. It's my wish list of characters, whatever. For this to work, the story has to go like this. There's a terrible tragedy in the opening of the game. Raiden's gone on a rampage. Kotal Khan's doing his Kotal Khan Outworld thing. They're fighting. Raiden's threatening to take over Outworld, and new Mortal Kombat tournament, all these things, and Kronika sees awful things happen. She sees the combat kids die, like Cassie dies, and in trying to defend them, Jax goes down, and Kun Jin, Takeda, all these things. It's just a bad day. So Kronika uses her time manipulation powers, pulls a Barry Allen, aka the Flash, and Flashpoint, and creates an alternate universe that I am referring to as the Splintering. So anytime you hear me say the Splintering in this video, that's what I'm talking about, is this alternate timeline that Kronika's created. And as we all know about alternate timelines, history wants to happen. So if something wants to happen, it's going to happen. Or if you change a little thing in the past, then it could drastically change the future, and that's what we're going to be seeing based in this roster. So I have 40 main roster spots, 12 DLCs, and without further ado, let's get into it. Told you this was going to be a long one. First, we have Hanzo, Hasashi, and Raiden. These are our pro and antagonists, respectively. Hanzo Hasashi is what he is on the main roster. Hanzo Hasashi, not Scorpion. You can give him costumes or whatever to make him become Scorpion if you want, but for the sake of this, he's Hanzo Hasashi leading the good guys into battle against Raiden and whatnot. He's also working with Kuai Liang, aka Sub-Zero, who is also human and also in this roster. I'll get to him later. But he's working with Cassie, her team, all these different things, and multiple more characters to be announced as I get through this roster. And then you have Dark Raiden, who's the main boss of the game, going to war with Outworld even at the detriment of Earthrealm's warriors and Outworld allies like Bo Rai Cho. And there are going to be a bunch of cameos that I may mention, may not mention, I don't know yet, but I will mention them if they're DLC, whatever, you'll see. So, Dark Raiden, big bad guy. Hanzo, leader of the pack. Now you have Liu Kang and Katana. They are leading the Netherrealm. They are the rulers of Netherrealm. They are working with Raiden as potential allies, realizing that it would probably be better to work with him than against him. And Katana, I would potentially have there be a rift between them of whether to side with Raiden or stay neutral in the altercation. And with somebody close to them, something that they really care about, becomes a voice of reasoning or dissension later on. Spot number 5 goes to Fujian. Fujian would obviously take Raiden's place as a mentor to Cassie and her team, or at least what's left of it after this whole thing goes down. Basically, Raiden is marching on Outworld. They're trying to stop it. And in this whole thing, friends are turning on each other, people are dying, all this thing. Terrible, terrible time. So you have Cassie and Sonya, Cassie Cage, and Sonya. No Johnny. Well, you'll find out what happened to him here in a moment. But Cassie Cage, she's in the main roster. And Sonya Cage is in the main roster. That's right, Sonya has taken Johnny back shortly after the events of MKX in my story. She took up the Cage last name. You could make her Blade if you want to, but I would have her Cage. I know, Sonya Cage, Cassie Cage, the Cage family. Because I always thought it weird that it was Johnny Cage, Cassie Cage, Sonya Blade. Like, it was weird to me. So that's my fix. And it adds an emotional stake to what happens later. Excuse me. I would give Cassie a more military, grizzled look, a more like she's got longer hair. She's more serious. She's lost a lot and she's got Johnny's name tattooed on her arm, and is at odds with her mother because of the loss of Johnny Cage. Yes, in this story, Johnny Cage dies. Fight me. I'm sorry. Don't worry, things go wrong or right as it happens. But this is just to add some sort of emotional things to the story, give a reason for the characters to be around or not around. Jackie Briggs. Jackie Briggs is in a state of tension with Cassie because her father was supposed to be defending Johnny, but left to defend Jackie, and ended up seeing the death of Jackie causing Jax's new attitude. Now, this is part of the splintering that I told you about. When Kronika messes with time, instead of I believe it was in my original plans, it was Sonya that bites the bullet for Earthrealm, and her and Johnny sort of bond over that, saying that Cassie's just like her mom, yada yada yada. But that didn't happen. Now it's Johnny who's gone, and those two are infighting amongst themselves. Jackie Briggs, or Jax, was going to originally be the one that's killed off, as one that is killed off in the beginning, but because of Kronika's messing with time, because of the splintering, Jackie Briggs is the one that ends up dying, leading to Jax becoming a vigilante, sort of going after her killer, who I'll tell you about later. Number 9, Jax, I would give him this sort of I don't know if anybody out there ever watched like Power Rangers or read comic books, but like this basically, like, alright, I've lost everything I have, and now I'm going to murder all of the things. Like, Jax snaps, basically. Right, now you have Takeda, who everybody, you'll see why everybody's like mourning him or whatever. After the events of the splintering, Kenshi is mortally wounded, causing him to sit out of the game. He's clinging to life and passes his sword down to Takeda, who is burdened with attempting to take up his father's place, live up to the legacy, that whole thing. So we'll see more of that. We'll see tensions rise with him and Hanzo, all these different things. Now, Kun Jin is an interesting one. Kun Jin's number 11. The splintering has left many of our heroes changed, but none more so than Kun Jin, who, after trying to reconcile with Kung Lao, is forced to watch him die once again. Then taking his hat, he becomes a lost cause, losing his morale and losing his will to fight, basically becoming like moves away for a lot of it. Kun Jin. Basically, it's weird. Kun Jin, I know I'm messing with the combat kids, but I didn't like in Mortal Kombat X how they were like, enemies, enemies, enemies. Now we're together. Right at the end. I want them to like work together and be together and then slowly fade away and then come back together over time for reasons. Like, not just, oh, we're all friends all of a sudden. I didn't like that. So you've got all these different things happening to them. Cassie blames Jackie. Cassie blames Jackie. Or Jackie blames, like, there's a lot going on. I may have messed up the timeline thing or whatever. Like, she's mad at, she was mad at Jackie in the original timeline, or she's mad at Jax for not like, there's a lot going on. Okay, so you have all these different dissensions. Like, I don't have it written out to a T. This was written really, like, I want to say at 3 in the morning when I was tired. So it's not the best, but you see what I'm getting at. There's issues that have caused them to sort of lose focus. Number 12, Scarlet. Scarlet is recruited by the Red Dragon. The Red Dragon is back in this game. And she becomes a catalyst for the resurrection of Shang Tsung. Before that, before she joins the Red Dragon, she helps Shang Tsung return. And then after being turned on by Shang Tsung, who feels he doesn't need her anymore, she joins the Red Dragon only to have second thoughts later on. She gets this whole conflicting... There's a lot of conflicting issues going on in this. Now, I think Scarlet's cool. I would bring her back. Number 13, Havoc. Havoc joins our story for one reason and one reason only, due to the chaotic nature of the splintering event. With rival clans joining together to friends becoming enemies, he feels right at home in the middle of all of the chaos. The Chaos Realm is the only one that didn't get messed with, because in my logic, the Chaos Realm's time is not succinct with the time of other realms, so he's privy to all the things that were different before, kind of like how speedsters can retain information of different timelines. This is Havoc. Havoc's gonna have fun. Shang Tsung, using parts of Ermac's soul, or using some of Ermac's many souls, Shang Tsung returns to life, only to begin rebuilding an army, including some new flesh pit creations, to add to the mix of those trying to take Outworld for themselves. And number 15, Ermac, after being used to bring back Shang Tsung, he is conflicted within his own soul collective, as they become unstable due to Shang Tsung's tampering, leaving him vulnerable to the sorcerer's control. So Ermac is now vulnerable to being controlled by Shang Tsung. That'll play a part in the story. Also, you can have Shang Tsung try to control Ermac, and one of his souls can take over Ermac and just be like, no, not today, whatever. Adding to more fighting, more different factions, and all these different things. While you have Earthrealm and Outworld going at it, you also have Outworld, multiple different people, like the Red Dragon trying to get power, the Black Dragon, you have the Shiryu and the Lin Kuei trying to do things, you have basically one big faction war. And Outworld is the battleground. Excuse me. Seeing the Netherrealm and Earthrealm's potential union as a bad omen, you have Sarina, who is number 16. Sarina joins Team Hanzo and attempts to dissuade Liu Kang and Katana to do the right thing. Sarina's cool. I want to see some of her demon powers at work. I would bring her in there as a sort of another force on the side of good. Now, number 17, Frost. Frost, furious that her master joined forces with his rival clan, Frost splits off from the Lin Kuei and joins the Red Dragons, trying to prove herself as a true fighter and using them as a catalyst for revenge. Frost basically doesn't like the fact that Kuai Liang joined forces with Hanzo Hasashi. There was a small bit of that in this MKX story, so we capitalize on that here, and she joins the Red Dragons. I really want the Red Dragons to be made to look strong. That way they seem like a credible threat against the Black Dragons. Number 18, Rain. Angered at the War of the Realms, Rain makes his presence felt in yet another scramble for the Outworld throne. Backed by Shang Tsung, who is using Rain as a pawn to gain control of this control in this mass chaos. Controlling chaos, or attempting to control the chaos, causes him and Havoc to have issues. So basically, Havoc doesn't like Rain because Rain controls water. Havoc thinks water should be free, and Rain is trying to bring order to chaos. Thus, Rain and Havoc have issues. I would love to see the dialogue between them. Sub-Zero, once again, he is Kuai Liang, human form. He and Hanzo working together against Raiden, also recruiting the Special Forces kids, or what's left of them, and some other faces that will come along later. Number 20, Dagon. That's right, Dagon, having been in hiding all of these years, finally returns to battle with the Red Dragon clan, to battle the Black Dragon alongside other members, including Frost and others, to take the fight once again to the Black Dragons, who themselves are mixed up into this multi-faction war going on between the realms. So basically, you have Dagon as the heavy for the Red Dragon, I liked his design. I want to see him come back. Number 21, Triborg. Triborg, having become his own program, creates his own clan, the Takunin, using data stolen from the Black Dragon. He creates cyberized versions of famous warriors, including Hydro, which is a cameo, and has some of the abilities of Rain, and a female cyber ninja that has some things of other females, like maybe Melina. This is basically, the Takunin is basically a way to give cyberized versions, cyberized costumes to other characters, like Cassie, maybe Sonya, Raiden, things like that. You see cyber versions of them as cameos throughout the story, and those could be potential unlockable costumes. I think that would be cool. Number 22, Chronica. Chronica, Elder Goddess of Time. She's seen all the horrific events that could lead to another Armageddon, and uses her time shifting to try and alter things for the better, but ends up making some of them worse in the process. Like Barry Allen and the Flashpoint event. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's amazing. And I'm going really, really fast here because my battery is draining faster for some reason. Another result of the splintering, Kano's son, Dominic, rebels against his father and joins the Red Dragon, vowing to bring the Black Dragon down once and for all. Kano's son, Dominic, is going to be very important to this story. Number 24. So yeah, Kano's son, Dominic, turns on his father and joins the Red Dragons. Taven, number 24. Taven is found by Takeda. Taven joins the fight to try and stop the events that are falling into place. He's trying to prevent worse and worse things from happening. Joins up, only to eventually be killed, slaughtered by Dagon. I like Dagon, don't like Taven. I want to see the hope stolen from them multiple times in this story. Like, they just start getting something and then bam, taken away. Number 25, Liu Kang and Katana's daughter, Lan Kang, or aka Orchid. I know there's a character in another fighting game somewhere named Orchid. It's just a placeholder. Work with me. Orchid refuses to follow in the steps of her parents as they currently are, and decides to enter the next Mortal Kombat tournament, eventually becoming its champion, but only after some assistance. She basically recruits some different people to help fight against her parents. I would have her variations be, and this is important, I would have her variations be one like her mother's, one like Liu Kang's, and one similar to Melina's, just to spite Katana. Like, she takes Melina's size or something like that and fights a little bit more like her, just to upset her mother. Very rebellious young lady. A new part of Shang Tsung's army, for that, just think mournful Katana, but Melina instead of Jade, and on her daughter instead of her. A new part of Shang Tsung's army, Toxic, was created by mixing Saurian blood with the DNA of Devora's race, resulting in an almost scorpion-like bipedal creature that fights for Shang Tsung. I named him Toxic. Think of like Reptile mixed with a little Devora, a little bit of Reptile, a little bit of Devora, a little bit of Alien with the tail thing, but wrapped around. So basically a walking human scorpion. Just something, a little Toxic, just something more that Shang Tsung can do. Okay. Motaro, number 27, Motaro, resurrected by Shang Tsung. Motaro acts as Shang Tsung's bodyguard, even being given more power by the sorcerer. I would have Motaro back. I like Motaro, but I would have him back only if you could do the Centaur version. If they could figure out a way to do that, I would do it. I would love to see that be done. So Motaro gets to come back. Yay. Reptile, successfully having revived his race, he seeks to bring it back to glory and once more joins Shang Tsung, only with the promise that Earthrealm will belong to the Raptor race. Now, this is where I would have Reptile and Toxic have conflict. I would have it be a sibling rivalry, each one trying to gain the affection and the praise or whatever of Shang Tsung, trying to get in his good graces by one-upping each other and undermining each other all the time, till eventually Toxic kills Reptile, fading out Reptile. Fading out fading characters out. You see what's happening, right? Good. Number 29, Tanya, joining Shang Tsung initially. She becomes the next Melina, seeking power wherever she can. and siding with whoever will further her goals best. So basically normal Tanya. I would have her switch sides multiple times, basically be the biggest traitor in the history of traitors. Number 30, my game, my roster, Havoc. Number 30, or Havoc, Trimmer. Number 30. I'm so hung up on Havoc. Please be in Mortal Kombat 11. Please. Number 30, Trimmer. Having reached the level of demigod, essentially, Trimmer would use this newfound power to combat those that would seek to harm Outworld, joining alongside people like Fujian in the fight against Raiden. Now, his ending, Trimmer's, was he becomes a demigod, basically, and I would just run with that and let him be on par with them. That way the people that didn't like Trimmer can suck it, basically. I think it would be cool. I like Trimmer. This is my story. If you don't like it, make your own roster. Number 31, seeing Trimmer frighten Shang Tsung, seeing Trimmer frighten Shang Tsung, but also made him intrigued. He would set off to attempt to create his own warrior, trying to mold the best bodyguard possible out of earthly materials, but ended up failing, or so he thought. Instead, he had created Chrome, a being of liquid metal that acted as a rival to Trimmer. Yes, I would have Chrome show up. I think he's a decent looking character. His powers could be cool. Have him and Chrome, or have Chrome and Trimmer go toe to toe. Whatever. I would like to see that. Especially if they give him a really cool redesign. Tassia, stepping up to assist Kano in his war against the Red Dragon. Tassia would eventually take over as Black Dragon leader following the demise of Kano. Yes, Kano is killed at some point in this story. If you can't tell by who, then you're about to find out. Tassia, Black Dragon. Give more of the Black Dragons more opportunities. Number 33, Kano. Kano would have a son thanks to the splintering, that son being Dominic. And finally, after his son assaulted the team, killing Johnny Cage, wounding Kenshi, taking out Jackie, doing all these different things, Sonya would finally snap, killing Kano once and for all, causing more dissension between her and her daughter, all these different things. Basically, I would have Dominic be a big force. That way, when Kano dies, he can be like, you know what, I'm going to take Dad's mantle. He was a jerk, but now Black Dragons are leaderless, and he would try to step in maybe as the leader of the Black Dragon. And then that would allow for the leader of the Red Dragon to be like, ha ha ha, one of my own killed some of the best that Earthrealm had. So you're starting to see where I'm going. Number 34, Jade. Jade returns due to the splintering and acts as a sort of rogue, going where she can and doing what she must to be the best female warrior on the planet. Eventually winds up training Orchid or Kan Lang, whatever we're going to call her. Basically ends up training the daughter of Liu Kang and Katana. I think that'd be a cool team. Number 35, Mavado. Yes, you knew this was coming. Leader of the Red Dragon. Don't worry, Suhao's nowhere to be seen. Leader of the Red Dragon, Mavado takes this chance with the war going on to rise up in the world, trying to make the Red Dragon famous, and he does this through Dominic, seeing Dominic go through these sneaky tactics and smart ways of taking out his enemies, actually being effective, causing more arguments between him and his dad. Like, look, I did what you could never do. I had less time, and I was more effective in less time than you were. Kind of those father-son rivalry deals. Number 36, once again, my game. Baraka. Timeline switches he and Devora. Due to the splintering, Devora is killed by Baraka instead of the other way around, leaving way for Baraka to rise alongside Shang Tsung and bring back the Tarkatans. I think the Tarkatans are cool. I think Baraka's cool. Bring him back. Plus, I don't like Devora. What happened to Melina? You'll find out soon. Bo Raicho, teaming with Fujian against Raiden. He helps train the new crop of warriors, only to be killed by Raiden in both timelines. And that's sort of a jarring thing to Raiden. He's killed one of his friends. He's the one that ends up killing Kung Lao. He's the one that ends up killing Bo Raicho. Yeah. So Bo Raicho is there to train and to die, basically. Number 38, Aaron Black. Aaron Black joins Mavado and the Red Dragons after Mavado saves his life from an encounter with Triborg. So basically Triborg is going on this cyber initiative to try to recruit as many cyberized warriors as he can. He tries to get a hold of Aaron Black, but Movado and the Red Dragon step in to avoid it, hoping to gain an ally in Aaron Black, which they do. Number 39, Cabal returned to life with the help of Fujian, and thanks to the Splintering event, Fujian is placed in a moment where he gets to save, where he can bring Cabal back to life, and Cabal works with the new team led by Hanzo against Raiden and his forces. Number 40, last one, Noob Saibot. Yes, Noob Saibot, still upset with his brother Noob, works with Raiden, bringing others along with him. Basically, I would use Noob as the new Scorpion for Sub-Zero. Like, I would have Kuai Liang sort of regress almost a little bit back into his own mind. Like, fighting his brother is bringing out that darker side of him that Hanzo doesn't want to see, and that can cause some tension between them. Now, that's the main roster taken care of. Now I'm going to go through these really fast because I'm running out of battery. Number 12, DLC. Number 12, Li Mei, working with the Special Forces. She tries to act as a mediator between Sonya and Cassie. Basically, her role is to act as the voice between Sonya and Cassie, trying to keep them from killing each other, metaphorically. Number 11, another product of Shang Tsung's resurrections. Draman guards Shang Tsung's prison, which would be a new location, like a new map. Number 10, Nitara, trying to do what makes her happiest. She basically serves as a double-crossing yet smarter Melina. Basically, Nitara goes around and does what she wants because she is a vampire. Vampires are cool, bring her back. Hotaru, seeing the chaos. Number 9, Hotaru, seeing the chaos across the realms. Hotaru tries to intervene, only to be met and murdered by Havoc. That's right, murdered by Havoc. Number 8, Kiera, a female apprentice to Kano. She eventually is persuaded by Cabal to fight against the Black Dragon from the inside. Little treachery from the inside. Reiko, deciding to take matters into his own hands, he attempts to take up Shao Kahn's mantle, only to be met by the real Shao Kahn, having returned via the Splintering event. So Reiko gets his butt waxed by trying to take Shao Kahn's spot. Kentaro, after Goro's death, Kentaro is enlisted by Raiden to act as his champion in the next Mortal Kombat tournament. Oh, I forgot to mention that Liu Kang, Katanas' daughter, ends up being the champion in the next Mortal Kombat tournament. But yeah, Kentaro replaces Goro. Don't like Goro. I like Kentaro. Number 5, Ashura. Ashura joins the battle with Sarina, trying to see Netherrealm not become a weapon of the war. Basically, Ashura and Sarina don't want to see the Netherrealm used as cannons against any other realm. Number 4, Melina, returned thanks to the fixing of the Splintering, even though she was still murdered by Kotal Khan in the Splintering. In the Splintering, because Baraka killed D'Vorah never lives to kill Melina, but Melina is still murdered by Kotal Khan because Kotal Khan is in power. That's how Melina stays dead. Belloc, but I would bring her back as DLC, obviously. Belloc, having been imprisoned in the Netherrealm, Belloc is awakened by Shang Tsung to assist him, but goes off on his own. Belloc will eventually become a Naga. That's going to be his ending. Nightwolf, after Kronika fixes the timeline. Number 2, after Kronika fixes the timeline, Nightwolf would go to bear a child. I want to say I'd give him a daughter and call her Hawk something with Hawk in it. I like that. And finally, number 1, Johnny Cage. After the cleaning of the timeline, Johnny is returned to life and becomes a mighty warrior, only for a further tragedy to befall Cassie Cage. So, basically, Cassie gets her dad back, but something worse happens. I don't know yet. I'm still figuring that out. If you want to see this developed into its own story, let me know. I'd be glad to do it for you. But that's what I would do. I would give the DLC characters story chapters, that way you can see them and what they're up to, and some of these were cameos in the story, some weren't, whatever. But these are just characters I'd like to see implemented, things like that. Basically multi-faction wars, opening up different factions for faction wars if they want to bring faction wars back. So much cool stuff. But yeah, that's my dream roster. I'm sorry I went real fast, but I'm running low on battery as we speak. So, as always, I've been SuperDude, you guys have been SuperFriends. I hope you liked this Mortal Kombat 11 video. Tell me who you would want in the game. Did I do a good job? If not, please comment, but try to be nice. But until next time, guys, up, and away from SuperDude. Up and away. Bye-bye.